Hi, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Risings. Welcome to your August 2022 forecast. My name is Cailin, and today I'm going to be covering the major transits for the month ahead using tropical astrology and the whole sign system. I recommend that if you're only going to watch one horoscope today, that it be your ascendant sign horoscope. And that is because your ascendant sign, otherwise known as your rising sign horoscope, will be the most accurate for you overall, generally speaking. Nevertheless, if you are a Cancer Sun, you'll find that this horoscope relates to you on a professional level. So, with respect to your career and your life goals, whereas you mooning Cancer people will find that this horoscope pertains to your living circumstances, your home life, family life, as well as your emotional health and well-being. So, let's begin with the first transit. On the 1st/2nd of August, we're going to see Mars conjunct Uranus in Taurus at 18 degrees in your 11th house. I covered the Mars, Uranus, and North Node conjunction in explicit detail at the end of July, so feel free to check out that horoscope. I will include a link after the reading. Essentially, Mars was not quite exactly in the mix with that conjunction in terms of Uranus and North Node were at 18 degrees, Mars was 17 degrees, but now Mars is catching up. So this is a continuation from that. And because this is occurring in your 11th house, which is connected to your wider networks, your groups, communities that you're a part of, as well as your long-term goals and dreams, this can see there being an opportunity that comes in really quickly out of the blue. So maybe someone in your wider network will reach out to you to offer you some sort of opportunity to either join a new group, join a community, or perhaps this is going to relate to a professional opportunity, especially because Mars rules over your 10th house. Now, Mars and Uranus have a similar energy in that they are both very adventurous and experimental. And because Mars rules over aggression and Uranus can represent unpredictability, this can see you, on one hand, maybe joining a group or a community really swiftly, and this could be, very out of the blue, or you could make an exit from a group or a community that you're a part of. And, both could be true. Maybe on one hand, you're, joining one group, but on the other hand, you're, leaving another, or you could be leaving one group or party to join another, whether that's, a political party, a sporting club, or, maybe there's just some sort of trade-off that is involved on a different level. You could have a sudden download of information which is connected to your long-term goals and dreams. So maybe you're doing something which is very unexpected, especially if you have like a social media presence. You may be making a sudden announcement or doing something which is quite unpredictable or uncharacteristic, and this could shock the people that have come to know you as being one way, and then you're sort of catching people off guard, I guess, is one way that I could put this. Now, the 11th house is connected to the house of gains and money. So it's a money house in astrology. So this can see you either making like coming into a lot of money, and this could be out of the blue, or there could be, a big downwards turn in an investment that you have. And I'm not going to comment as to which way it's going to go. And the reason for that is because the 11th house is quite a lucky house in astrology, but Uranus can represent things going sideways or unexpectedly. And of course, this is a general reading, so I can't give any more specific detail in such a manner. If you want a private reading with me, you can book one via the link in the description box below. With this conjunction taking place in the 11th house, In the 11th house, this is a very creative time for you. There can be sudden introductions that are being made. So you could meet people who become instrumental in your career or in helping you with a creative project that you may be working on. And I'm saying this because Mars rules over your 10th house, which represents your career and your professional life, whereas Mars also rules over your 5th house, which is connected to creative projects and owning your own business. And it doesn't just need to be work related or business related. There could be some sort of humanitarian cause or social justice issue that is very close to your heart, and there could be a new and exciting development in that department. Now, on the 4th of August, Mercury is going to enter the sign of Virgo, which means it will be transiting your 3rd house, and it will be there until the 25th of August. So the reason I'm mentioning this is because Mercury will be exalted in Virgo. It loves to be in Virgo. It also rules over Virgo. Normally, I just don't even bother mentioning Mercury transits because they're really quick. They're only about 3 weeks. But because Mercury is so well placed, I really wanted to mention it in this particular reading. So Mercury naturally rules over the 3rd house, and it rules over your 3rd house as it is, which is Virgo. So on the work front, this can see you being very busy. There can be lots of new clients that you're meeting. There can be lots of meetings that you need to attend, or calls that you need to make, or emails that you need to send or respond to. This is a great time for brainstorming for new business ideas. And this can see there being an increase in sales because the 3rd house is connected to sales and commerce. And you could just be extra productive during this 3-week period. You certainly could be making new friends, meeting new acquaintances, and forming new business relationships. Even if you don't necessarily strike up a business deal during this period of time, you could just make that connection, and then you could do business with this person down the track. On a different level, did I say this already? You can make new friends. I think I did say that. You could be forming a small team at work, and you may even form like a new friendship group. And the 3rd house represents small groups of people. So, this wouldn't be like a friendship group with 30 people. It could just be that you and 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 other friends really hit it off. And, you could have a long lasting friendship group as a result. Now, the 3rd house represents communications, and it also rules over siblings, relatives, and neighbors. So you could open the line of communications with these individuals, and you could be hearing from them, or they could be, or you could be reaching out to them yourself. And the 3rd house is also connected to education and short courses. So you may be starting some sort of new short course or perusing some educational material which is related to mercurial things. So that can be sales, commerce, business, marketing. You could be doing a writing course or working on your communications skills. You could be learning how to use some sort of new technology, or maybe you're wanting to learn how to use a program for your computer. So that could be Microsoft Office or Excel. Maybe you want to do a photography course, or maybe you're basically learning how to become a manager, or maybe you're looking at product development or professional development. Maybe you're trying to improve your memory. The 3rd house rules over education, and it is connected to short courses of all kinds, but because Mercury is in your 3rd house, it will be Mercury related. Now, lastly, this is a good time for you to create new content with respect to a website that you may be developing, whether this is one that's in existence or you want to start a new website, or work on an app, or work on your social media platform. So you could be writing new content, vlogging, producing new video content, writing new articles. Maybe you're working on a new app or website which is connected to a schedule of some sort, or a map, or maybe this is to do with public transport or an email system, or like cataloging in some way, shape, or form. And maybe some of you are just going to be opening up a new social media page. So moving along to the 11th of August, this is when we're going to see Venus enter the sign of Leo, and Venus will be in your second house until the 5th of September. Venus is naturally associated with the second house, so you could say Venus likes to be in the second house. Now, because Venus rules over your fourth house, which is Libra, and that's connected to the home, you could be purchasing a new home, or you could be purchasing things for the home. So that could be valuables, possessions, furniture. On a different note, wherever Venus goes, we enjoy that house, provided that there's nothing that's sort of contradicting that transit. Nevertheless, the second house is connected to nature, gardening, cooking, and Venusian things. So enjoying the finer things in life. So this could see you enjoying spending time in the garden or cooking. Maybe you're learning a new recipe or teaching a recipe to someone else, as in teaching someone how to cook. And on a different note, financially speaking, your financial situation can improve, your finances can increase, you can come into a bit of money, your resources may increase. It's not just straight up finances, it's whatever you would consider to be a resource. So you could be receiving help from another person, especially because Venus rules over your 11th house, which is Taurus. So maybe someone in your network or in your community is going to be helping you out financially, or with regard to materials or possessions. Just as an example, the second house is connected to your wardrobe and valuables and possessions of all kinds. So if you haven't been able to afford buying clothes for one reason or another, maybe someone is going to donate those to you or share those with you. That's just one way that could play out. And the second house is a finances house in astrology. So with Venus ruling over your 11th house, which represents investments and your long-term residual income and passive income, you may be selling off an investment or cashing in your cryptos in order to have actual liquid cash that you can access. So there may just be some money management which is taking place over that nearly 4-week period. Now, on the 18th of August, Venus in Leo in your second house is going to trine Jupiter in Aries at 8 degrees in your 10th house. And Jupiter will be retrograde. So just wanted to make a note of that, because you may be revisiting a conversation which took place earlier in the year. Now, again, with respect to your finances, you may be receiving a raise, especially because Venus represents finances and money. It is in the second house for you, which is also connected to, finances and resources. And Jupiter is another planet which is connected to material wealth and abundance. Venus is what is known as the lesser benefic in astrology, and Jupiter is the greater benefic. So both planets are associated with good luck, fortune, and blessings. So when they are making a trine to one another, which is considered to be a very positive and harmonious aspect, good things come through as a result. So this can see you receiving a raise from your employer. This can see you experiencing an increase in resources or in finances, and this could come via you receiving recognition at a higher level or more exposure in a professional sense. Now, this could also see you receiving praise or recognition from someone who is in a position of leadership. Now, it doesn't just necessarily need to be connected to the workplace. This could be any kind of responsibility, any kind of large organization, or what am I trying to say? It could be like a group that you're a part of because Venus rules over your 11th house. And the 10th house is also connected to long-standing old systems that have been in place for a long time. So, it could be any sort of organized structure that you're a part of in terms of, government and association and organization or corporation and so on and so forth. Now, receiving this recognition for your work or for your expertise in the following fields could be coming through. So this could be the world of finance, beauty, cooking, so makeup, culture, art, music, all the Venusian things, all the second house things. So this could see you feeling more valued, as a person, because the second house is connected to everything that we value, including our self-esteem and including our self-worth. So maybe you're going to come into more money or an increase in your resources simply through knowing your value, whether this is financially, what you're worth, artistically, creatively, your worth in the workplace. You could be charging more money for your work, especially because the 10th house represents your professional standing and your career. So this could see you maybe charging more money for a collaboration or to make an appearance, or you could just go to your employer and ask for more money or for a raise. And on a different level, again, this doesn't necessarily need to be connected to work. You could end up being in a position of leadership or power within a certain hierarchical organization. Okay, so this could be a non-for-profit, this could be work that you do as a public service. Now, on a different level, there may be an opportunity for you to showcase your creative skills or to share your knowledge at a public level or at a level where you are very visible, so people are able to readily access the knowledge and wisdom that you are sharing. So it's a good time, essentially, so jot that down. That's the 18th of August. Now, on the 20th of August, Mars is going to enter the sign of Gemini, which means it will be transiting your 12th house. I would like you to pay attention to this transit because ordinarily, Mars would only spend about, 7 weeks, give or take, in a sign, but Mars will be spending 7 months in Gemini in your 12th house. So it will be there until the end of October. The reason it's spending so long in your 12th house is because Mars will go through a retrograde period, which will last from the end of October through till the 12th of January. So whatever you're starting around the 20th of August, or at the very least between the 20th of August and the end of October, you will continue to work on these areas up until the end of March in 2023. When Mars is in the 12th house, we can experience a psychological breakthrough. We can be working at overcoming an addiction or a fear or self-sabotaging behavior. The 12th house is connected to things like yoga, meditation, divination, astrology, astral travel, and all that good stuff. So with Mars here, you can have some sort of breakthrough or understanding as to how this stuff has been working in your life, whether this is the impact of a certain fear that you have or a certain addiction that you have, or understanding how things like yoga and meditation can really aid you and benefit you in ceasing to exhibit self-sabotaging behavior. So with Mars ruling over your 5th house, this can see you overcoming a fear which is connected to romance or sex. And that is because the 5th house is associated with those areas. Now, the 5th house is also associated with children. So maybe you have a fear about starting a family, or maybe this is to do with blending your family with another person. This could be on one level, it could be that you have children already and you are concerned about getting into a relationship because you don't know how other people are going to react to your children from a previous relationship, or the children that you already have, or the shoe could be on the other foot. Maybe you've met someone who's really amazing and they've got children that are not biologically yours, and you don't know whether you would be, I suppose, fit as a step parent in a sense, or level of what level of input you're going to be contributing to this child's life. So you could be working on, fleshing out those areas and what your fears are surrounding those things. Now, the fifth house is also connected to gambling. Okay, so this could see you overcoming a gambling addiction, or maybe you're just taking the first step, just seeing what it would look like to explore, you know, not engaging in gambling anymore. Now, with Mars ruling over your 10th house, which is connected to being visible, putting yourself out there, and people knowing your name, whether this is in a professional sense or just in terms of taking on more responsibilities, which would put you in a position of leadership or in a position of power. This can see you working on why you're holding back, why you're scared of taking on these new responsibilities, or why you might be holding yourself back in terms of your career or in terms of starting a business. And some of you could be working on eliminating certain recreational drugs that you've been taking from your life, or reducing medication that you may be on. And I'm saying this because the 12th house is connected to drug use and pharmaceuticals and just medication in general. So, of course, many of you will be focusing on astrology and understanding it better, or maybe you're wanting to engage the services of a psychic or someone who works on, um, you know, chakra realignments or Reiki and anything pertaining to the occult and to divination. And essentially, on a different level, if you are in the spiritual industry already, this can be a very fruitful time for you as you start to um, work on your craft. So that could be astrologers, tarot readers, psychics, mediums, yoga instructors, meditation practitioners, and so on and so forth. Now, lastly, for the month, on the 24th of August, Uranus is going to station retrograde in the sign of Taurus in your 11th house at 18 degrees. So once again, we're seeing that 18th degree being activated. So you may be revisiting whatever sort of came up around the end of July or the beginning of August, when we saw this Uranus North Node Mars conjunction, and then in turn that Mars and Uranus conjunction. So maybe you are going to be reflecting and reviewing and reconsidering who you want to be friends with, who you want to associate with, what groups you want to be part of, what communities you want to be part of, what your level of input is in said groups and communities. Maybe you're going to be reconsidering your political views or your stances on humanitarian issues, and maybe you're going to be redefining what good you can do in these groups and communities, and with respect to your ideological um, your your set of, not necessarily ideological beliefs, but your values with respect to society, because the 11th house is connected to societal values. So you may be reconsidering what causes you champion and what your long-term goals and dreams are. So how you fit into groups and communities will be a very big topic for you between the end of August and middle of January in 2023, as that is when Uranus will station direct once again. And lastly, you may just be trimming the fat when it comes to the social networks that you're a part of, the people that you follow on social media. And, this really will be a refining process when it comes to your wider network and who you want to associate with. And so, Cancer, that's all I have for you for August 2022. Please like this video if you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content on here. Enjoy your month ahead, Cancer, and I will see you guys in August.